All right, Coach, you start with an opening statement and we'll follow with questions.
Yeah, I thought we really came out firing on all cylinders. We started fast. The opening drive was a lot of fun, man. Thought Billy came out sharp. Thought he played really, really well. I guess he was 21 of 28. You know, he had the pick down in the red zone he'd like to have back where he threw it really before B. Hayes was looking. It's a route, you know, just a little bit of a, we just got to hold it a little bit longer and make sure we know what the receiver's going to do right there. It's a little bit of a read route where he can release two different ways. He had the right coverage, but boy, I thought he was sharp. Thought he made a lot of good plays. Thought our O-line played awesome. I mean, I thought they were versus a really good defense. Now, guys, you're going to see that defense right there very rarely gives up over 30 points. Like, I mean, last year I think they gave up 24 points a game. They held Jackson State to 24 last year. I mean, they're a really, really good defense. They patterned that off of that. Oh, we had some penalties down in the red zone, which caused us to have to kick field goals, which is disappointing. We'll have to get that fixed. We didn't have any, I don't remember a single pre-snap or post-snap penalty, though, which is awesome in game one. When you see across this country, you see so many illegal procedures, false starts, pre-snap penalties, post-snap penalties, people with the same jersey number on. Our team didn't do that tonight. You know, I thought our coaches did a phenomenal job and our kids did a phenomenal job of looking like a real football program. You know, we lost Cole Cavallo in pregame warm-ups, which hurts because, you know, he took all the ones reps at tight end for every practice. And, you know, when you lose a guy to injury, you can prepare for it. But when you lose him in pregame warm-ups when he's had all the reps, so we kind of were scrambling right there. Credit to Caden Cochran and all of our young tight ends for stepping up. He's going to be back. We didn't lose him for the year. He just got a little muscle pull right there in warm-ups. You know, we missed a shot to Ty Mims one time. It could have been another big play right there starting the third quarter. And, boy, what about Stein? So proud for that kid. You talking about how hard is it in today's day and age, 2023, in a, you know, what can I have right now world, right? You know, hey, give it to me now, give it to me now, give it to me now. Andrew Stein plays here in 19 and plays really well. Then he gets beat out and he stays. And he plays 20 as a backup, 21 as a backup, 22 as a backup, and now in 23, he goes 4 for 4 with a big 50-something yarder. You know, man, you just don't see that a lot anymore. And y'all hear me talk all the time, you know, life's, man, usually when you stick something out, you keep working, you keep getting better, usually the Lord rewards you when he's ready to do it. And I thought, man, we had some things happen tonight where Stein had to kick some long field goals, and I was pumped about that. We were awesome on third down early till we started subbing. Our third down numbers don't look as good as what they probably really were because we were converting all of them early. You know, outside of the pick in the red zone, I was really pleased with how we were functioning, moving on offense. And so with that, we'll rock and roll. Bryce punted a few times and averaged over 42. I thought he hit it and rolled, so that was good to see. I thought our young corners played well. They didn't get tested too much because they couldn't block us. So that's something we'll continue to watch. But, you know, all in all, I thought it was a hard opponent to play in game one because of all the issues they give you defensively and all the different looks that they give you. But I thought our team played hard. I thought they played well. We played a ton of kids, which is always good. And we're 1-0. You know what I mean? We're 1-0, and we're off and running. So we've got a great opponent coming up next week. Everybody knows that. And so with that, I'll open it up.
Coach, you know, since you named Billy the starter, was this what met your expectations today? Was this what you saw him leading in a command for the team?
What do you think? You think he played good?
21
of 28, 3 touchdowns. I thought he ran the ball good down in the goal line too. You know what I mean? So he had 2 bad plays. He knows what they are. The pick in the red zone was a bad play, a little bit of a miscommunication, but he's going to take credit for that because that's the kind of man he is. And then we had another play in the red zone where he pulled it on a zone read, and we had a little screen off of it that he tried to hit. He probably should have just ducked it up in there and got a little more yards. But you know, man, they gave us some hard looks now. They did some things early on that they haven't shown ever, and he handled it and functioned. The seam throws were on time. The first touchdown was a corner blitz. He pulls it off the dive, throws the screen off the corner blitz. Caston catches it and makes a guy miss and scores. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's been a lot of times in our past here where that stuck us for a 1-yard loss. Instead, it's a 20-yard gain for a touchdown. And so, man, he played really well. He was in command, and was pleased with how he ran the ball. You know, and I think it's something he can build off of and continue together.
You described the first drive as fun. What makes a drive fun, more fun than another drive?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can remember every play. All right, so first play we sprinted out and hit a hitch, You know, we just, and I know that seems like simple, but like in the last years, that'd be like trying to roll a 7. You know what I mean? You can do it, but you don't always do it, and the percentages say you're not. So we sprint it out, we hit a hitch, boom. We come right back with a speed sweep to Frank Gore, boom. Everybody blocks it up. He hits it, makes a few people miss. We're off and running. We take a shot. Ty Mims is wide open. They pull him down, or that would have been a touchdown. 3-play drive done. We keep rolling. We run a GT counter. They blitz the corner. We pull it. We throw the spot out there, and we go. We did all that with playing 4 different personnel groupings and a lot of different people in and out of the field. Like, that's offensive football. You know what I mean? And that's execution with a lot of people doing their job, and that's fun.
That would be touchdown after the PI end zone. Is that one of his, where's that rank on the night for Billy's throws for you? Like, was that one of the better ones?
The one that on the pass interference? Yeah. Well, I don't know because they pulled him down. I think he was going to catch it. Do you think he was going to catch it? Yeah, I thought he was going to catch it too. You know, if they hadn't pulled him down, he definitely would have.
Coach, can you talk?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's year 3, but it definitely feels like a page was turned tonight. Did that feel like did it feel like that to you?
Yeah, we're just a more complete football team. You know, you felt it. We didn't play perfect. You know, I'm telling y'all, man, that's a good football team now. Okay, I think they're going to win their conference. I got a lot of respect for Coach McNair and Coach Thomas, their D coordinator. I got a lot of respect for how their kids play. They got a good-looking team. You know, they look like a Sun Belt team. Their starters look like Sun Belt players. I mean, they're a good-looking football team. Thought our defense played awesome. I thought our D-line dominated the game. You know, we came out and executed early offensively, subbed some guys, and you know, in the red zone, we had some penalties right there. We'd have got it in a little more. We'll have to look at that. One time, Drake popped it around there. Avery White got a tough holding call. That's part of it. But you know, some things to clean up, but we're 1-0 versus a team that I think will win their conference. Back here.
Coach, just talk about Jay Stanley on defense, how he set the tone with that pick. He was just all over the place tonight.
He was. You know what I'm most proud of him of? And he said it too, which shows how far he's grown. On 3rd down, when the quarterback scrambled through the middle, do y'all remember it? Jay Stanley tackled him, and they had to punt. The old Jay Stanley would have tried to kill him, and he wouldn't have tackled him. But he came to balance. He had great approach to tackling, near foot, near shoulder, and he just got him down. When he made that play on my headsets, I said, that's a money-making play for him. Because that's what he's got to do, and he knows that. He's worked so hard all offseason. And that's hard now to think. Now, you've played your whole life a certain way, and it's gotten you to this point. But to take the next step, you've got to change just a little bit. And he has. And I'm so proud of him for it. Now, the picks were him. That's what he does. You know what I mean? Like, he makes great plays. He has an unbelievable ability to get his hands on the ball. But he made himself some money tonight, that tackle on 3rd down. Because that's what he's got to be able to do. He's got to be able to get a great runner down in the heat of battle. And Jay's a real man. Jay came here as a boy, and he's a man right now in every way, and I love him.
Coach, good to see you again.
You too, man.
Obviously,
I missed you.
Yeah, it's football season.
No doubt.
Caston obviously leading the way receiving. He was a big player last year. Like, what do you look for in him this year, obviously, after losing a few guys in the wide receiver core? And what do you like tonight?
Yeah, so number 1, you know, getting open consistently, and then 2, you know, the first touchdown. We throw it out there, and he makes that guy miss. He's like a running back with the ball in his hands. He's over 200 pounds, and just a good old country boy, man. He's country tough. And we came out the second half, and we hit him on 2 seams, and he got over 100 yards. He made a good catch on a jump ball. You know, so I just thought he played really, really well. And he's a tough guy, too. And it was good to see us get him the ball. Frog got 3 catches tonight. You know, I thought he was going to score on one of them. I don't know if we got B. Hayes the ball again after the first play of the game. Davis Dalton made some plays. Ty Mims had some touches. You know, they pulled him down on what would have been another touchdown. So it was good to get all those guys the ball, you know, like we've been wanting to do the last few years.
It'd be easy to sort of make a lot, like comparatively, the quarterback situation the last couple seasons has been interesting.
Yeah.
And then you hold that up against what we saw tonight, it'd be kind of easy to be like, whoa, this is a big step in the right direction.
Yep.
Is that too simplistic, or is that?
No, I mean, it is. It just kind of is what it is. We're just way better at quarterback than we used to be. You know, and it just, I mean, look, man, he's a good player. He's a really good player that pours everything he has into it. You know, and Holman does too. I mean, Holman came in and went 3 for 3. He had one bad play on the pulled RPO where he should have gave it, or he's got to get that ball off. You know, so we got 2 good quarterbacks. Their competition's been great, and I thought Billy came out from the jump and played great. It was good to get Holman in there and let him play. He's an awesome teammate and a really good player that has handled this in a way that's not common. You know, we had a saying all week, and I got to give Mitch Williams credit for this. You know, it starts with me and it ends with us. You know, and that's what accountability is, which is our second core value, right? Like, it's got to start with me. And when I say with me, I mean every individual person in this program, but it has to end with us. And Holman Edwards is a microcosm of that. Like, he's a really good player. He's one of the better quarterbacks in this league, I'm telling you. And he's not the starter right now. But man, he just keeps coming to work. He keeps pushing Billy, and he keeps helping out, and he's fun to coach.
Coach, you think that's why y'all didn't use Frank that much in the second half, because of the command of the offense and how things were going?
Yeah, I mean, we felt like the game was in control, and we got a long season ahead of us, and we got Florida State next week. And, you know, if we'd have got Frank hurt in that third quarter, we'd all be sitting here puking right now, you know, and then the whole win would have been obsolete. I'm not obsolete, but like we wouldn't have been near as good. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to take that chance. Frank's a proven guy. He's got a lot of tread on his tires. You know, Frank didn't have anything to prove in that second half. You know, he had done his damage, and he knows that, and we knew that going into it. If we got a lead, we was going to pull him. And we got a long season and, you know, bigger fish to fry.
Coach, with you guys starting out, all the buzz surrounding the team coming into the season, all the work that goes into it, new faces into the program, how important was that first quarter for you guys?
I thought it was big. You know, I thought it was big. Secretly, I probably wouldn't tell anybody. You know, I probably told Rebecca, I just wanted to come out fast. I wanted to remove some of the cloud off of us, you know, from the quarterback situation to my offense, to all this crap that we have to talk about, because we have to talk about it. But I just kind of wanted to move on from that, because I knew we had moved on as a program, and I just wanted the opportunity to show that we had moved on. So starting fast, I think, was huge from the weight of just having to come in here and talk about the same things over and over. You know, we can coach offense here, and we can play offense here. And our kids are really good at playing offense here, and we're going to only continue to get better and be a dynamic offense here.
You know, quick follow-up to that, with 2 tough weeks upcoming, how do you guys plan to try to use momentum at the beginning from this game throughout the game and try to use that to go into your next 2 opponents?
It's just what you do. You know, you got to keep getting better. You know, we're going to practice next week, and when you practice to improve, right? And so we won this game. We got great respect for Coach McNair and Alcorn State. We really do. I think they're going to have a really good football season. We feel blessed to have played the way we played early and won the game. And some things we got to get better on as we go through what's going to be a really, really tough schedule.
We talked a bit last year. I remember you said multiple times that, you know, you take a program and build it over time by, you know, starting with like losing by a lot, losing by a little, winning by a little, winning by a lot. After now you've seen this team play only 1 game, but where does it tell you that you are on that scale for what you want to achieve?
I think we're good enough now, you know, within the group of 5 level to where we can control our destiny. You know, if we come out and we play Southern Miss football and we protect the football and we force takeaways and we win the kicking game and we do those things, we can play with anybody now. You know, and that's a good feeling to know that, you know, you can control your destiny as opposed to going out there sometimes, being honest with you, and hoping the other team doesn't play their best so you have a chance. And we got a lot of good players. Credit to our staff, credit to these kids, and you know, so I like where we're headed, but we got a lot of work to do.
Coach, one of the unsung heroes tonight so far in this press conference, can you just kind of speak on how impressed you've been by the offensive line in this game?
They were awesome. They were awesome. You know, we ran the ball versus a team that was taking away the run. We threw it at will. We had great. They were blitzing a lot of people. We were pass pro-ing. Billy was sending the protections right. Our receivers were getting open, and we were throwing and catching. We got a good. We played a lot of them now. We probably played 15 O-linemen tonight. You know, so it was good to see. You know, Sam Gregg and Ben Thomas have done a phenomenal job with them, and they're going to only continue to get better. Go ahead, Dan.
I know a lot of questions on the secondary coming into the season, but you know, the fewest passing yards allowed since I think 2016 against Savannah State.
Yeah.
So can you just talk about that secondary? I know we talked about Jay Stanley, but I thought the other corners had great nights too.
Yeah, I thought our corners played well. You know, I don't think they were able to be tested quite like we're going to see because our D-line was able to get so much pressure quickly. you know, but I thought the times they played well. I saw Brendan Toles make a big tackle one time. You know, all of those corners, those top 4 guys, you know, we got a lot of confidence in. They're going to be tested throughout this year. Jay Stanley was phenomenal. We talked about Dylan Lawrence was flying around. I saw Sabatini in there. Hayes Puckett, baby, the governor. The governor. He was in the second half making plays, and you know, so it was good. It was good to watch those guys.
And follow up to that, I thought that open field tackling was really good.
I did too, man. I appreciate you saying that. We've worked extremely hard. We've changed our approach to tackling just a little. We tweaked it. Our kids have bought into it. And we got older kids that understand, you know, like what I'm talking about with Jay Stanley. You know, when you get a chance to knock somebody out, when you get a chance to hit somebody hard, okay, you need to hit them hard. But sometimes you just got to get them down. And we got physical guys that love to hit hard. So changing that approach and getting people down, I'm just proud of our kids because I thought I did. Because that running back's good now. Jarvian's a good player, man, from East Marion. He's Mississippi through and through, and he's a good football player.
Coach, when you start with an FCS in the Florida State, it can be kind of tough to find a measuring stick. So what do you take from this?
Well, you know, I think Alcorn's got really good players. You know, I think when you look at their starters, probably don't have the depth that we have. But when you look at their first 22 they put out there, they look like a really good Sun Belt team, and they play that way. You know, I mean, like their wideouts are 6'3", their D linemen are all big, their linebackers run and hit, their corners are long and good looking. The thing I look for is when we call a play, offensively, do we have 11 guys doing their job? And then when something goes different than what we thought, we've got answers built in. Do we get to those answers? And I thought our kids did that early tonight offensively. And then defensively, I thought our D-line dominated the front so much that it probably made it a little bit easier for our linebackers and secondary than what it's going to be down the road. But, you know, but our D-line's really good too. You know, but we'll watch the tape and we'll you know, defensively, the only thing, I guess they popped that power read early in the game. I think we misfit that. I know we misfit it. And, you know, outside of that, I thought we played dominating, you know, football.
Anything else?
Yes. One more question.
One more question. Last one.
That's what I'm talking about.
In the first half, Billy Wiles made a downfield block on a Frank Gore line.
Yep.
And then on another play, he was searching for another one. What does that say about him, and what do you think about him?
Yeah, I just think that's who he is. You know, from y'all have asked me, what, 2,472 times about Billy and Holman, and every time I've told you they just accept the responsibilities of the position the right way, the way they approach their teammates, the way they touch others, the way they understand their reach and their ability to impact. Like, man, being the starting quarterback at Southern Miss is a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a big deal. And they accept that responsibility and use it, and that's just another example. You know what I mean? The greatest servant, the greatest leader in the history of the world washed his servant's feet, right? And now he's leading a block on a downfield reverse or whatever when Ty's running around. So that's what being a leader is. You got to serve first, and they understand.
Coach, thank you.
All right, appreciate you guys, man, to the top.
Thank you, Coach.
My man. Did you hear me bragging on that tie?
The clean cut. Jason.
Jay, just talk about how the defense performed tonight. It's like you set the tone with that interception. Did you know you had to take it?
Yeah, I'm glad we set the tone. We set the tone tonight pretty early. I just wanted to be that spark, you know. I think I did catch it from the beginning, so yeah.
Jay, Coach talked about not necessarily just that you're making contact with guys, just hitting hard. You're learning how to tackle better. You have developed tackling better. Talk about that and how that made a difference in this first game. Not only picking 2 plays, but also making the tackling right.
We worked on that a lot during the spring, summer, fall camp. We worked on tackling a lot. Like he said, we take a different approach to tackling. It's just not all about just knocking the guy out. It's just simply about just getting the guy down. So we just take that approach and just get the guy down every play.
So what do you think the potential is of this defense now that you know, played against another opponent, you got some film, and, you know, you guys are out there flying around. What do you think you guys can do, in the weeks ahead here?
I think the potential is through the roof, through the sky. Because I know the standard I hold myself to, and I hold my teammates to. So I feel like with us just working together and just continue to get better every day, the sky's the limit.
Jay, a lot of question marks from the media and from the fans coming into the season about this secondary. And I mean, you've been practicing with them since the spring and over the summer and the fall. How much does it mean to you to finally kind of have that exclamation mark that you had this game with only 5 completed passes by your opponent compared to 2 interceptions by this Golden Eagle defense?
They feel good. We heard a lot of the critics, a lot of the talking, but we just used that to just continue to work harder. Those guys came in, just bought into everything that we trying to teach them, the standard, so they just bought in, and you just see it out there. Those guys have bought into everything.
Were there any surprises tonight or things that stood out to you?
I wouldn't say no surprises, because I expect to just go out there and dominate every time I get a chance to, but I'm glad we won.
What was it like playing against the Alcorn offense? Like, what did you notice about them?
It was a good team, very good running back. It was a good team overall. I feel like we should have had them to a shutout, but they scored 2 times, so that's a pretty good team.
Anything else for Jay?
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you very much.
Everyone good? All right, we'll start with questions for Billy.
Billy, how did this offense and how was your preparation for taking the first game on? What it made different for it when you were actually on the field and seeing what they were bringing?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously different when you're actually out there playing and adjusting to what they do, maybe doing something a little different than what we expected. But to be honest with you, there wasn't many surprises, and that's a credit to our staff.
They came pretty hard at you, too.
They did. They blitzed a lot. That was a good thing for us to practice, kind of getting the ball out quick, getting it to our playmakers, and just letting them make plays in space.
Billy, did you have a moment where you just felt like things were coming together for you?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that first completion was a good one to get on the first play. Just kind of feel that moment, be in the stadium, and just know that kind of you're ready to go, and this team is ready to go. So it was an exciting moment.
Was there your favorite throw of the night?
My favorite throw of the night. I'd probably say my favorite throw of the night was the one to Caston on the sideline, kind of the deep ball.
Not the incompletion where they called the penalty in the end zone. I think the throw before that was a pretty throw.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll have to look back, but it was a fun game. A really fun game.
How would you grade yourself after this, first game, the environment and just everything going on?
Yeah, I mean, there's always things that can get better, and I expect to find things that I can get better at when I go back and watch the film. But the main thing for me is I just wanted to go have fun and let loose out there, and I feel like I got that done. But yeah, just like I said, just gonna go back, watch the film, get better, and get ready for Florida State.
You were able to connect with a lot of different receivers there in the first half, and talk about the depth of that.
Yeah, depth at receiver is a huge thing for us, and it's a big strength for us, I think. And it's not just depth, but it's depth with guys that can make plays all in different ways. So that's huge. I think we had a bunch of guys catch passes today, and that's awesome for us going into the season and just kind of letting guys get confident in the offense and confident in themselves.
Really nice to meet you. I'm David Edelstein with CBS Station in Jackson. For you, what did you maybe learn about yourself or this team by finally getting into game action, playing against another team?
Yeah, I think I learned that we're tough. And we'll fight through getting a hit, getting kind of pushed back on first down, anything like that. I think toughness is a big part of this team.
The blitz package that they gave you guys today, is that going to prepare you against teams like not only next week, but on the future weeks, especially around conference opponents, when they're bringing guys at different times from safety, blitz package, and all the rest?
No doubt, yeah. You never know what a team's going to bring. And I think what Alcorn's idea was it's my first start, trying to heat me up a little bit. I think we're just going to keep getting better at picking those up, seeing them, and game planning a way to beat them.
This was your first start since the state championship in May of 21.
That's right.
How long did it feel like it's been 2+ years, or did it feel like it's been 8?
It didn't feel like it's been ages just because of the reps I've been getting in practice. The only thing that's been different is I've been wearing a red jersey. So that was a little different. Getting my first hit was good. kind of let me loosen up a little bit. So that was fun. But yeah, I mean, just getting reps in practice in the spring game, all that stuff has kind of prepared me for tonight.
Have you checked your texts?
I haven't seen all of them yet though.
How many are we talking?
It's a good amount.
What tells you that this team can be special this year?
Like I said, toughness, and just we have a bunch of guys that want to work. There's a lot of teams that are very talented, and this team is talented, but sometimes talented teams don't work as hard. And this team, every guy puts work in and day out, and that's just exciting to see. It gives you confidence in all these guys.
There were a few drives that stalled out in the red zone there the turn of the course. What went wrong in those moments?
Yeah, I mean, just different things. There's something different every time. Obviously, that interception can't happen in the red zone. And it's just stuff we got to get better at. First game of the season, we're going to look back, watch the film, and then move on and just learn.
What's it been like, that connection with Jakarius Caston? Obviously, the stats look good tonight. Coach is complimenting a lot of the wide receivers, but what about with him? Like, what's got that kind of?
Yeah, it's been awesome. We talk all the time. We sit right next to each other in the locker room, so we're always talking, finding ways to get better, finding ways to beat the defense. So there's definitely, I'm excited for the rest of the season with him.
What did you like about the Alcorn defense? Like, not like, I guess, but like, what did you notice about it? What stood out to you while playing against them in game one?
Yeah, I mean, just all the blitzes definitely stood out. And then they did some different stuff on like 3rd and long. They had different packages that not a lot of teams do, but I think we were ready for it.
As a quarterback, just talk about the running backs that you guys have, knowing that the pressure's not all on you and it's not all on Frank. And we saw everyone get in, contribute. How good is that as a
Yeah, I think that's a great thing for our team to be able to run it and throw it at will. So yeah, we have a bunch of dudes at running back that can play and make plays in the passing game and the run game.
As a quarterback, talk about your offensive line. I mean, the faith that you have in them and putting out, especially with the blitz package that came through today.
Yeah, they did a great job picking that all up. I'm sure they have stuff to learn just as I do, but they did a fantastic job picking up all the stuff they threw at us, and I felt confident in them all game. That's all you really want from your offensive line.
Standing on the sideline, what stood out to you about the defense and what impressed you about them?
They flew the ball. They made plays in the pass game, and then they were stuffing them up in front of the run game. Obviously, Jay Stanley had a great day, 2 picks. There were a bunch of other guys that made big plays for us.
Anything else for Billy?
All right, thanks, Billy. Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah.
All right, questions for Jakarius?
Jet, so starting off, 5 catches on 7 targets for 104 yards and a touchdown. Just describe your day and how it felt to, come out with such a statement.
Like during the game, it don't feel like I even had that many yards or catches. I'm just locked in playing the game. So, to know I had that many yards, I didn't even know I had 100 yards. Just locked in, catching the ball, running.
The last few years, you've been in the shadows, I guess, of Brownlee and of a few of the other guys. How do you feel like trying to be the #1, the team leader? How are you going to bring this on to the rest of the guys on the team? Is it by example, or is it, just going out there and doing what you can?
Even with Brownlee being, when he first got here and I got here, I was always chasing his spot regardless, because he gonna make me better. If like any spot on the field, he gonna make me better at it. Just even being like my first year, I was behind him, and that just made me better at it. I know I can play like if I'm #2 behind him. Like he in the league now and making big plays.
Obviously, it's been a rotating door at quarterback the last couple of years. What was it like to have just one guy throw to you one game, basically?
Oh, man, it feel good to know you got more than one quarterback, but to have depth like that and the quarterback can actually throw the ball, like everybody just come and want to play football, not just scattered everywhere. So we building a team. It's coming strong.
What was his best ball tonight?
I love the wide jump ball. And I had the little fade ball. I love making plays like that. It's 1-on-1.
I thought that looked very Jason Brownlee-like. It seemed like a lot.
You know, he probably would have jumped 10 times higher. I love judging the ball.
Talk about your relationship with Brandon Hayes and the rest of the wide receivers, and just kind of how y'all come together as a group and make this offense so much more deadly.
We talk to each other like we grew up together and actually brothers. So like, if I mess up, he'll get on my tail and tell me like, you need to get right. Like even in practice, dropping the ball, catching anything, even making the right block. So we look at each other as brothers, and if we need to say what we need to say, we're gonna say it.
And just kind of bouncing off of that, how important do you feel it is to this offense and to you having him back from injury that ended the season last year?
Well, it's very important. I feel like if he wasn't injured, he would have played a lot last year. Like he put in the work, he'll change person than what he was like before he got hurt. And now he understand what he has to do to actually play and make plays on the field.
What was it like playing with Billy tonight in an actual game against another team?
Well, practice is like a game, and we made plays like that at practice. So when the game is just come natural. Like it's not where the ball needs to be. Like we know where the ball's going. I know and he knows, so it make it easier even with practice.
Anything else for Jakarius?
Talk about just how confident these running backs make you, because now that there's so much depth, it's not just the Frank Gore Jr. show. Now that there's so much depth at wide receiver, it's not just the Jason Brownlee show. It's dangerous, and one team can't explicitly prepare for one aspect of the offense. So just talk about how confident the run game and the depth and talent at the run game makes you as a wide receiver.
I even feel more comfortable making the block for them, to be honest. Like some plays I have to like come down and like just peel the safety off a little bit and know that they'll break it. So just making my block and making me feel more comfortable with them running the ball. And knowing they're not gonna either fumble or do something they don't have to be doing. So we got a big room of running back. It's gonna help a lot.
Despite all the success, obviously tonight, what's something that you think that you'd want to work on in practice just to keep improving for week 2?
We gotta work on constantly blocking as a receiver. I feel like we need to focus on blocking a lot. And we looked the ball in good tonight, but we gotta find a way to tuck it after we catch it. Because we could have fumbled like 3 times tonight, but they held on to it. So we gotta work on that. We did good looking the ball in tonight. But then the things we got to clean up is the way we were holding the ball and some of the blocks we did. And staying on our block as the run comes.
Are those things easier, like as a college football player, like is that easier to just get that right than it is maybe like the scheme? Like you didn't mention that the schemes were being messed up or something.
Right.
Like is that
it's way easier. It's easy to fix at practice. You just got to put your mind to it to do it. Like you got to want to practice. Like if you don't want to practice, it's not going to change. You gotta want to practice and get it right. And it's something we can get that fixed either like tonight probably. Like just practicing. Like Tuesday, we get out there, we don't go over before we even go outside. So we won't have our meetings and know what we gotta work on before we go outside. So there's a lot we still gotta clean up.
Anything else? All right, thanks, Jakarius.
Thanks guys, appreciate y'all.